It's definitely started in high school. I'm from a small town, Fillmore, California. It's like the town it's Ventura County before it becomes LA County. It's a small like, agricultural town. I played youth Pop Warner football. I played little league. I was playing a lot of sports as a kid. By the time I got into high school, I remember it was my sophomore year that I got introduced to wrestling, and it was Coach Calderon who he went up to a few. He was recruiting. He was going around campus recruiting certain students, and and he bumped into us, and he just asked us, me and a group of our friends, and we're like, yeah, we'll try it out, and we'll see. We don't know what wrestling was at the time, so we started. We started with wrestling. I remember my first couple practice. It was really tough. It was hard, and I was like, man, this is not like it's not like baseball. It wasn't like the other sports I played. And there was a football feel to it where it was like hard knocks, but there was never like downtime. It was like constantly practicing, and it was like my first days, and I was like, kind of like this.
Mhm.
And that was the introduction to me going into the wrestling team at Fillmore High School. And it was fun. A lot of my friends that did try out, a lot of us stayed. A lot of us continued to wrestle for the next 3 years, and it was actually some of the most memorable times I had in high school. It was definitely some of the funnest, just enjoyable. It was so enjoyable. It was just you get rewarded for winning. You get rewarded for fighting. Like it wasn't like a street fight. It was definitely something. It was very controlled, and it became addicting. It became addicting, and I started doing it. I ended up doing it for 3 years to my senior year. I got, I want to say I got good at wrestling. Along with my friends, we had this dream of winning league at our senior year because a lot of us came with the experience, a lot of us kept returning, and in our senior year we ended up taking second in league, and it was kind of disappointing, but the memories we built on that, and it was great. After high school, I ended up going to work right at high school. Actually, I ended up going to ITT, and then I dropped out after a couple months. But then I ended up going to work, but I always had this thing in my head where I want to go and continue with the education. I wanted to definitely continue my education, so I ended up going to the community colleges in the local areas. And then finally, I ended up going back to wrestling at Moore Park College, and that's where I wrestled for another 2 years under Coach Keesaw. And he's Coach Keesaw's at Fresno City now, but it was back in 98, 99 era. So I ended up wrestling there a couple years. Wasn't was focused in wrestling, but my academics I was doing really well academically, and then I'm transferring here to UCLA